But while we're at it, I gotta say another thing about RuPaul that's kind of disturbing is that RuPaul's a real drag queen. I know I'm probably gonna get in trouble for this, but I'm gonna say this. RuPaul's a real drag queen, but I don't think she actually teaches real drag. See, real drag is when you sing the song yourself. You don't lip sync in real drag. And I know this is a huge, huge, huge thing that goes back a long time. And it's very, very, very controversial. And different people have different understandings of it. But back in the day, what I understand is that even if your voice wasn't really good, it was about the spirit. It was about actually putting your body on the line by trying to confront people with the incongruity of how you're expressing yourself and what you're doing with it, including how you navigate the alienation you feel from your body and the manner in which somebody projects onto your body and understanding how they think you should be acting in what they see as the appropriate comportment of your body. And so, what is this about being as incredibly talented and good at drag as RuPaul is and allowing people to get away with lip syncing? I know this is a huge political matter, but I'm going to tell you something. Personally, I don't do lip syncing. And if somebody were to try to take my voice and they were trying to put their visage and their presentation over my voice and then pass it off as if it's just a performance, I would be very, very disappointed. I would be very disappointed. I spent a lot of my life having to acclimate to how the different tones of voices that other people have create some sort of biophysiological disturbance for me in my energetic field. Whether they were loud and bellicose, whether they had some weird squeaky thing that a lot of people seem like they're attenuated to these days, whether they had some accent that may not seem like what they look like is appropriate, whether they didn't speak English very well, so I had to struggle to hear what they were saying in a way that I could figure out how to deal with, or even if they didn't even speak English at all. And I was in a place where people didn't speak English and they weren't going to try, and I didn't know their language as my own. All of these things are different ways in which we experience our body and the things going on with our body, and the actual use of our actual voice makes a very big difference, even if it doesn't sound as nice and pleasant and as, I don't know, well toned as somebody else's does. And so this is a big thing that I've been having for a while because on every standard, RuPaul absolutely qualifies as a glorious drag queen. But what does it mean if other people aren't given the same kind of validity for their voice and having the courage to use their own voice as other people who do, and yet are supposed to be in a position where they're allowed to be identified as drag queens? I'm not trying to be mean to any other drag queens that think that lip syncing is actually part of their art. I just contend it's not drag. It is not drag when you don't sing it yourself, even if your voice is terrible. Most likely, if you actually used your own voice, it wouldn't be terrible. It would be amazing. It would just be a different kind of amazing. So this is a challenge, and I know it's a very personal one. It's a very intimate one, but it's actually one I deal with all the time myself. How many times have I heard somebody say, "You need to lower your voice," regardless of what I'm talking about, regardless of what the actual tone or vocal range of my voice is, including whether or not other people are actually talking louder than me. There is a presumption when I am seen that if I'm talking about certain things, no matter what I'm talking about, I'm talking too loud. And so, this is very important for me, right? Because if there are social expectations that I attenuate my voice and that I use my voice in a different manner in order to appease or appeal to somebody else's understanding of what is an acceptable presentation of my vocal arrangements, then what does it mean if we're in a situation where other people understand that for art or business, they can use somebody else's voice and then say it's their performance?